So you are like doing step with like all the instruments and also the feeling part.
Okay, so I was waiting Aurora's answer, those who just joined.
Yeah.
I will first start with the kind of theory of musicality. This series we've had salsa history and musicality. This class we will start the musicality part and we will go into more in depth as we continue the series. But first is what is a musical, what makes somebody a musical dancer? What does it mean? We'll define it first and I will explain my thoughts. Aurora was saying that a musical dancer is someone who kind of really hears the music and steps to the music, steps to the rhythm and is able to interpret it, right?
Yeah.
So then, what constitutes somebody to become a good musical dancer? Now, there are lots of different ways to think about it and dive into the subjects. I say that two things, first of all, is that you need to have a good understanding of the music. That's one kind of journey and a path on its own that you can embark on to become a more musical dancer. So of course, the more you understand about the music, the more instruments you can hear, the more you understand the structure, the more you can also really feel and be present with the music. The more you can derive enjoyment out of it, the more you can really able to even another level play certain instruments in order to really deepen your kind of connection to the music. All is what is potentially makes you a more musical dancer. Doesn't necessarily yet, it's not the whole picture. What's the other side? The other side is how many tools you have in your dancer's toolbox to really express what you hear, what you understand from the music. So that means how many movements you are able to, what kind of, what range, what movements you're able to produce with your body. How well do you know the steps, the footwork, the shines, the Afro-Cuban ideas, pachanga ideas, boogaloo ideas, etc., etc. So the more kind of movement tools you have to express the movement, express the music, potentially you will become a more musical dancer. So it takes those two aspects. Having the tools in your body and then understanding really the music, right? So when you have those two things together is what ultimately potentially makes you a more musical dancer and you can fulfill your kind of musicality potential, right? And this is a super interesting topic for me because you can go either way super far. And I will explain you that I have seen some dancers who are unbelievable dancers, but yet not necessarily that musical. For example, in the ballroom scene, I've seen some dancers who are able to have a certain types of tools in their kind of movement arsenal, but I can see that they don't necessarily understand or listen to the music in the same way that I would, for example, interpret it. So perhaps they don't have not necessarily studied the music in the same way I would have, for example. So then for them, just because, my point is, just because you're a really, really good dancer in certain respects doesn't necessarily also make you musical. Then there can be also other way. You can have somebody who is unbelievable musician, who really understand the music. They are able to hear all the notes if the trumpet is playing a wrong key or note or something like that, but yet they don't necessarily have any tools in their body to express pachanga or boogaloo or salsa or Afro-Cuban movements. So therefore, it doesn't necessarily make them musical just to understand the music. So you need both. And the beautiful thing is that you can go either way. You can really go to an unlimited direction. Like, how well do you understand the music? There is really no limit. Because I hang out with, for example, sometimes with Julio Romero's musicians, and it's beautiful to discuss music with them because they hear a certain song and they say, in that part, this trumpetist was a little bit off key, and I'm like, trumpet? Where was the trumpet? You know, it's like their ear is so developed in a certain direction that is beautiful, or they are able to be a virtuose musicians themselves. So obviously they understand the music in a whole nother level completely than us, for example. So, and at the same time, the same thing as far as dancers. You see somebody like Tania Canarza is a good idea. She's developed herself in Afro-Cuban movements, for example. Or there's one favorite dancer of mine, one good one is Oliver Pineda, who is a musician himself. He's a percussion player. He's also has a good understanding of different ballroom or classical training movements, and he has a good range of Afro-Cuban movements. So he has a big arsenal from which to then also use his body in combination with his ability to hear the music. Then there are some who are really musical dancers, like there's one guy, Terry from France. A long time ago met him, and actually there's an interview on YouTube that I did that's quite famous. He's 30,000 views already if you want to go see on YouTube. And he has a beautiful, super cool musicality, especially in his social dancing, that is super cool, and he really hears the instruments super well. But yet he's kind of limited necessarily to hip-hop type of movements, to salsa movements, his Afro-Cuban movements, pachanga, bukalu, he doesn't use that much. So all of these, there's a different combination then that all of you can have. Combination of musicality and combination of different movements. Yeah, so that's like a huge overview of this whole idea of musicality that I would say. Jasper, did you prepare something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, it's good. Yeah. So now we have Jasper also with my kind of intro to this world of musicality, and I used to make a 27-hour kind of training team that was only focused on this subject. So as we continue the series, we're going to go deep dive into some of the parts, because I have, like, for example, just from these general subjects, for example, what would be the most important things to become more musical. So at this moment, let me know if you have any questions so far in general, and if not, we will introduce Mr. Cervantes into the dance floor.
Hello.
Yes, with this cool intro, and I'm excited always to learn more and hear different ideas, because musicality is a super cool subject, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's a super cool subject, and we all everybody has some little different takes on what they like to explain about it, what they want to emphasize, how they see it. I heard many different instructors teach different kind of ways about musicality. So with that said, I'm excited to see kind of what will Jasper share with us today.
Okay, guys. So what is the idea? So the idea about the musicality needs to be a lot about the way you hear. Okay. So most of the times we have we can see a lot of dancers, a lot of different dancers around the world who try to do a musicality, but musicality is not different than counting. Okay, why? Because the music has a metric. You see, so if you have a metric and you have to count, but at the same time you need to follow a compass. Okay, so first thing, you can use your body, you can use your feet, you can use whatever you want to interpret what you are hearing, but very important, keep counting. Okay, why? Because you need it, because you need to follow a compass, and at the same time you need to dance on time. Okay, so I'm gonna start to play some instruments, and I'm gonna teach you just a few movements that you can do it in order to interpret the sound. Okay, so we're gonna dance on two, but at the same time we're gonna try to interpret. Sorry, it's very simple. So we're gonna start with the conga, kukum pa, y kukum pa. Okay, so normally when we dance on two, we dance with the conga. So the slap, tudum, this is a slap. Tudum. So when we hear a slap, so we need to dance in front. Kugum pa, kugum pa, and kugum pa, and kugum pa. Okay, but at the same time, we're gonna hear the campana or the cowl. Can, 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 can. So when I go forward, in pa, y tudum, y pa, y kugum pa. So we're dancing on two, and then on six, but in the middle, we are gonna hear the cowl, and then the cowl is gonna be 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so remember, when we dance salsa, we are dancing on 8 counts. Okay? The regular compass is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? All of the music, everything is counting on 4. Okay? The compass is 1, 2, 3, 4. But for dancers, we need to count on 8, but in the same compass. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, but it's the same compass on 4 counts. Okay, so we're gonna take note about these kind of things, and then we're gonna start to dance. Okay, so Mickey's gonna help me. So he needs to play the regular sound of the drums. Okay. Sorry. Do you have the class?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Always with him in the
7.
pocket.
Okay, let's do it. 5, 6, 7. Normal. 6. 2. 6. 6. 2. 6. And then the cowl. Can, 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 can. 1, 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. So I step 2 on the slap, 6 on the slap. Pa, pa, pa. And if I add can, can. That's it. Okay, thank you. So what I'm doing with this sound is doing 1, 3, 5, 7. Remember, this count is called chord beat or downbeat. Okay, count 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. It's the same if you dance 1, 3, 5, 7, and at the same time it's the same when you dance on 2. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. And actually, for me or for people who wants to compete, it's easier to have a very good timing. Why? Because the slap. So when you mix the slap with the cowl, it's very clear your timing. Okay, there's no way to the judges don't catch the timing you are dancing. Okay, why? Because it's very clear. 1, 3, 5, 7. Actually, Eddie Torres said, if you want to dance a very good on a good 2, if you want to have a good on 2, you need to step a very good 1. It's the same. If you want to dance or if you want to step a good 6, you need to step 5. Okay? So that makes the difference between, for me, salsa and son. Because son is on 8 and 4. 8, 4, 8, 4. Salsa. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Son. 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8. And actually the son is more, there has a more cadence. Okay? That's why it looks like doing more pause. Ding ding, keep back, keep back, 8, 4, 8, 4, 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. Keep back, keep then. So when we try to dance son with the drums, it's easier. Keep back, keep You see? Then you have more isolation of the upper body. 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 4, 6, 8. Then salsa. So now remember, 5 different counts dancing salsa. Core beat, downbeat, core beat or downbeat, upbeat, regular count, full count, syncopated. And we can add the 6th one, that is son. Okay? So I'm gonna explain this part. So let's do it. So regular count, normally 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Basic. 1, 2, full count. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, full count. 6, 7. 2, 3, 6, 7. 2, 3, full count. 6, 7. 6, 7. Okay, so remember, regular count is the basic count. Full count, so there's no pause. In a regular count, you need to stop on 4 and you need to stop on 8. You see, it's different than son. Okay, so remember, regular count 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Pause on 4, pause on 8. When you are dancing on full count, so you don't have to wait. So there's no pause. It's very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basic. 1, 2, stop. And 5, 6, and 7. Okay? So remember. So this is just an idea. So it doesn't mean that when you dance on full count you need to do these kind of things. You can do a different count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Whatever. So it's about the timing. It's not about the step. It's not a syllabus. It's the way you are counting. Okay? So remember that part, because sometimes people say, okay, Corbett, and all the time are doing this. Okay? No. You can do Corbett in 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. It's the same thing. Okay? It's about the counts. It's not about the steps. Okay? So let's a quick review in order to practice this part. So remember, regular count 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Full count, just cross. Cross, open, behind, in front, open, in place, again. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, and 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. First count, regular count, full count. Now Corbett. So we finish in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Simple. Cross in front, cross, open, and basic 2, 3. This is, so remember, 1, 3, 5, 7. Don't transfer your weight, so don't do it. Don't do that. So there's a rule. If you don't count, you don't step. And if you don't step, don't count. Okay? It's very simple. So then it's 1, transfer my weight on my right. Then 3, transfer my weight on my left. Same thing in front. And then open. Same thing. Transfer my weight to the right again. Okay? So try don't switch your weight. So simple. Full count and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, there's no 2. 3, there's no 5, there's no 4. So 5, there's no 6, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay? This is core beat or downbeat, same thing. Okay? So now let's try to do with the percussions and the 5, 6, 7 and 3, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, So now it's gonna be upbeat. Upbeat 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? Let's do it like this. So normally you do 1, 3, 5, 7. You see? So it's gonna be very, very simple. So now sideways. It's gonna be 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's like a syncopated, but the intention of the movement is on 4. Okay? So and 2, and 4, and 6, and 8. Okay? So it's a little bit hard, but I know you can do it because it's simple with the drums. Tu dum pa y ku kum 2 and 4, 6 and 8, 2. Okay? So simple. And 2 and 4 and 6 and 8. Okay? Again. So cross behind of you and then cross in front. So you open first your right leg and then your left, right again, left again. And 2 and 4 and 6 on 8. Okay? If it's hard for you, just let me know and we can do another exercise. Okay?
You got it.
Sorry? Okay. So remember, it doesn't matter. So we can do 2, 4, 6, 8. You see? So it's not about to do just a simple drill. Okay? Let's do it with the upper body. Okay? So we can use this for the syncopated. We can do it. So let's do this. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7, and 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? So again, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Very simple from the top. Regular count or basic is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, full down. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chord. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3. Just up it. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 3. Again up it. 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 3. Again up it. 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? If you have questions, let us know. Okay? So remember, it's gonna be, we are gonna start on 8. Okay? So it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? So now syncopated. It's a little bit hard. Why? So 8. So now we're gonna start. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Okay? So we're gonna try to do it very, very slow. It's just in front. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Simple. Again. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. So remember, it doesn't mean that music is going fast. No. You need to divide the counts. So the count is 1, 2, 3, salsa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, syncopated. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 1, 2. You see? The compass is the same thing. Okay? So that's why sometimes when you hear a band, the musicians doing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they start to play. That's the difference between a dancer with a musician, because the dancer says 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1. Okay? That's the difference between. So music is about 4 counts. Dancing is about 8 counts, but inside of these 4 counts, okay, is the same thing. Don't worry, okay? So what you are doing is dividing the time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. It's the same compass. It's not about the speed of the music. Okay? So, very simple. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. When I say and, it becomes like a number. That's why I need to step it. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 5, 6, 7 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 and 7. Okay? From the top, just counting, and then with the instruments. Regular count. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 and 7. Full count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 beat. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Okay? So let's try to do it with the sound. 5, 6, 7 and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, go down. Four beat. 2, 4, 6, 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Go. 8, 2, 4, and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Again. Go. Full count. 2, 4, 6, 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 6, 7. Okay? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Questions? No questions?
It's cool.
It's cool? Okay. So now, guys, you need to pay attention of what the music says. There's a lot, all in between the, or every song has this kind of counts. So, for example, when you hear a descarga, for example, timbales, so there's a lot of sounds. So that means that they are playing syncopated. Okay? So if you hear accents and 1, 3, 5, 7 is chord. Okay? Yeah.
How is that for me?
Yeah? So I'm gonna play a few songs that you can hear